Dun dun dun, cause this is Thriller Night. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Ooh, werewolves of London. This is Halloween, this is Halloween. I feel so goofy. Hey everyone, my name is Matt Swerk. I'm a local real estate expert right here in Massachusetts with the Legacy Star team powered by Keller Williams. Now, if this is the first time you come to our channel, welcome. We talk everything about Massachusetts. So you definitely want to click the little like button or subscribe to the channel, click that little bell, and then every time we make a new video, you're going to be notified. We have lots of fun with this. We talk everything from eating, sleeping, drinking, living in certain communities. You have questions about Massachusetts, we have answers. Just email us, text us, call us, whatever it is, whatever it has to do with Massachusetts, just remember, we've always got your back. So today, what was all that weird singing at the beginning of the video, right? We're talking about Salem, Massachusetts. Now, and I have all some stats here, but for people that don't know Salem, Massachusetts, it's up on the coast. It's on of course, the East Coast because we're in Massachusetts. Like I said, I'm a little zany. So up in Salem, Massachusetts, this absolutely, in my mind, it's a big landmark as far as Massachusetts. As a kid, we took a lot of field trips out there, and all those weird Halloween songs happen to do with the Salem witch trials that happened way back when. Just lots of really strange history. And Salem it's a really interesting community. We're not going to dive too deep into things. I'm going to kind of bring back some of my memories from field trips. There's a place called the House of the Seven Gables. There's the Salem Witch Museum. I mean, there's a lot of history that happened there, and lots of crazy stories, right? Someone's just like, "You're a witch," and they're like, "All right, let's burn them," right? And they're like, "What do you mean?" So, kind of a weird twist on things. But the reason we're talking about Salem is Halloween's coming. Right, and we had talked about let's go out into Salem and show people what it's like. We're not sure if we're ready. The town has had some issues as far as the pandemic is concerned. So probably next year we'll go out and we'll go out to Salem. And if you haven't been there for Halloween, you are going to be blown away. Excuse the expression, the freaks come out at night, and that could be at 4 o'clock in the morning, that could be at 10 o'clock in the morning, or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's just a fun place, right? Everyone's just dressed up. I mean, it's horrific as far as what you'll see, but it's so exciting. But we're not just going to talk about Halloween. We did some fun little songs and had fun with that. But Salem, Massachusetts, of course, being a real estate agent, I want to dive right in and talk real estate. We're not always talking real estate on this channel, but as far as Salem, the home values, and here's the little map. You can kind of check it out, and you see a highlight there. Right on the water, lots of great places there. But the average home value is about $517,000. Right now, they've had a decent increase, like most of us had, as far as real estate in America and probably the world at this point. They've had a 17% increase of home values over the past year. So Salem rent prices, they've had a 13% increase. A one-bedroom apartment, you're looking at just under $2,000, about $1,925 just to rent a one-bedroom. So you get lots of great places. Your rent's going to be higher if you're on the water, of course. But one of the things we want to talk about, and we compiled this research here, and it's kind of funny because we're like, all right, we pulled some data, and we're like, what does this really mean? So we wanted to just talk about the school systems, right? Now Salem does okay, right? If we look at the national average as far as where Salem sits, I don't think it's that great. I mean, I don't know how many schools are across the country, right? That's a big ask. But one of the sites that we pulled from, they're ranked 17,857th for schools across the country, right? So I guess that's a pretty decent number, right? Because let's say there's 1 million schools. I have no idea. I'm going to make that number up, right? I'm not a school expert. So, but as far as Massachusetts itself, they rank 348th as far as the state's concerned. And they have, it's pretty interesting. In the state, they're number 229th as far as getting people ready to go to college. As far as having their curriculum be, I don't want to say be of value, but as far as the teaching methods, the methodology, I don't even know what you call it, but the preparation for college, I'll say, we'll say that. No, because that was the readiness, but the curriculum as far as being prepared for college, I'm off the wall today. 216th as far as the nation, as far as the state's concerned, and they do fair as far as math and reading. 257th in the state. Their performance rank is 127th. So a lot of those numbers are going to roll over your eyes like they're rolling out of my head. But they are, it's not a bad place as far as schools. They're top three. They have Salem Academy Charter School. They have the Saltston School, and then Collins Middle. So, and those are spread out throughout the I was going to say the state, but throughout the town of Salem. So decent as far as education. Definitely the area is beautiful, right on the water. I'm a big fan about that. You know what they sell when they're right on the water. I'm not going to say it. If you watch the videos enough, you know what it's about, or what would have come out of my mouth. I'm going to leave that out of the video today, even though I brought it up. All right, so let's talk food. Wow. Okay, so we're talking food. I'm making a little joke. Okay, I got to throw this in there. Every video, somehow fried clams gets put into the video. And every time I say I'm not going to put fried clams in there, they go in there. And more importantly, fried clam bellies, right, Tyler? Bellies?
Bellies are better.
Bellies, right? Those strips, it's like, what happened to the rest of the clam, right? So it's like, why do you pay for the banana peel when you check out? But like, you have to pay, like, you need the belly. That's important. The peel is not that important. So that makes no correlation, I don't think. But
the strips are cheaper for a reason.
Yeah, right? And the goodness is the gooiness of the belly. So let's push that off to the side. So, all right. So there's lots of different restaurants up in Salem. There's, like I said, I'm drawn to the water from growing up in Quincy, and I've gone to a lot of great restaurants there. All right, Village Tavern, right? That's one of the places that we've highlighted today. Definitely an upscale pub. The local fan favorites are going to be fried pickles. You're going to have buffalo cauliflower, which as a kid, I'd be like, cauliflower? I'm not eating brains, right? But it's a good superfood. And then, of course, their pizza, right? So definitely check out Village Tavern if you're looking for a nice place to eat. They have Red's Sandwich Shops. Now, This is a cool place. It's not just sandwiches, right? They have lobster omelets. They claim to have the biggest pancake ever, and everyone is just like, the pancakes are massive, right? Like my kids go out every once in a while. We'll go out to eat. If we go to a restaurant that has massive pancakes, they bring the pancakes home, right? Now, I don't know who's had leftover pancakes, and if you're like most of the people in America, if you brought a pancake home, guess where it's going? It's going on the top shelf, then maybe the middle shelf, could go to the bottom shelf, but eventually it's going right in the trash, right? So the cost of pancakes is low. We don't want to throw food away, but throw a little bit of flour and some water away. But if you're ready to go in for, you want to get stuffed, get the hash, get the massive pancakes, dump all that maple syrup on there. Little plug for New England, not just Massachusetts. We got awesome maple syrup all over the place, especially Vermont, right? That's our claim to, well, we have this thing called the Big E, and we'll do another video on that. But yeah, I'm high energy. I'm having lots of fun. It's just an amazing day. I'm sorry. So if this is the first time you're watching us, I'm not normally like this. I am zany, but not like this. Then we have the Flying Saucer Pizza Company, right? Now, pizza, my favorite food. We're going to talk in a different video about some towns north of Boston to live in, and my kids laugh because the worst pizza I ever had was at a bowling alley. And I'm not going to tell you where it was, but it was in one of these communities for the next video we're doing. Literally, it was like a heel with ketchup on it. But it had cheese and it was pizza, and I absolutely loved it. And like everyone else was like, I can't believe you're eating that. I'm like, it's pizza, right? So back to the Flying Saucer Pizza Company. It's got a really fun atmosphere. Nice light crust, that crispy crust, right? It's definitely, you want a good pizza, that's a place to go, right? So definitely check out the Flying Saucer Pizza Company. They've gotten rave reviews. Everybody loves that place. You can't go wrong. I mean, Salem there's a lot of great food up in Salem. And again, you're getting fried clams and fresh seafood, so you can't go wrong there. All right. Next thing we just want to talk about is, as far as, again, being on the water, they have a really nice maritime museum up there called the Tall Ship Friendship at Salem Maritime National Historic Site, right? That's a mouthful. Say that 10 times fast with fried clams in your mouth. Okay, anyway, I'm beating that like a dead horse. But that's just that stories of Revolutionary War, all the different merchants. They have this really cool video movie called Where Past is Present. It's a museum, so if you're into that thing, you're going to get lots of value there. And I just think it's interesting. I really like going to museums and anything from the past. I'm not really big into history, but I've started to appreciate what was life like when they were going through this, and kind of how they did, like how they survive without a cell phone. I was at a meeting the other night. My cell phone ran out of battery, and I made a joke. I'm like, my battery's dead. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, I think I could survive for an hour and a half. And here I am. I made it through without my cell phone. But definitely go check out that national park if you're up in the area. There's a lot of little parks up there as well, but really, really fun place. Again, being right on the ocean, just beautiful views, beautiful boats coming and going. If you want to just spend a nice relaxing afternoon, just hang out on a park bench and just, watch the ships kind of coming in and out. Going back to that tall ship friendship and that Maritime Museum, that's in Boston specifically. I can't remember if it's every 7 years or how often it happens. I know that's a change of allergies, but the tall ships used to come into Boston every once in a blue moon, and that was just a really cool experience. So that's what I love about this, because it's called the tall ship, the tall ship friendship at this museum. Massive sails and massive boats, and just really, really impressive. So if you're ever up here in the area and the tall ships are here, definitely go check it out. I mean, it's just impressive to see what these vessels are. We talked a little bit about the craziness as far as Salem at Halloween. I think going back to the Salem Witch Museum, the Salem Witch Trial Museum. That, again, just going back and understanding what was everyone's mentality when things were happening in the world, and they thought there was sorcery and magic and all these crazy things that happened. And literally, like I said at the beginning of the video, like people would point a finger and say, she's a witch, and then they're on trial and something, maybe something weird happened. They're like, oh, like we got to burn her at the stake because she's a witch, right? So a really, really dark time in Salem's history, but brings up a lot of interesting places and interesting stories. And one of my favorite places, like I said, is this place, the House of the Seven Gables. Seven Gables, right? And it's just there's staircases that lead up to nowhere. It's like I think it's called the Winchester Rifle Museum that's out in California, right? That place is haunted. I don't know about these other places, but that place is haunted, right? So, I would recommend this. Go to Salem when it's not Halloween. Right, like we'll bring you out to Salem next year, and we'll have behind the camera, and we'll kind of show you what it looks like. But go appreciate what Salem has in the culture. Like we're teasing around it now because it's Halloween, but really, it's a really, really fun place. It's one of the oldest cities in America, and they actually had the Chestnut Street was one of the first planned streets in America. Right, so again, as far as history is concerned, we always talk like, hey, the world started here, which isn't true. However, Plymouth Rock and that whole debacle there, but our area has so much history that, we're not a cookie cutter place, which I think is good and bad. I lived in different parts of the country where, the streets were grids, and that was simple and easy. Welcome to Massachusetts, where it's all old horse trails, and, there's always a surprise around the corner. So definitely a really fun, cool place to go visit, to go eat, to experience, get a decent education, pay a decent rent, and move on. That's just a very high overview as far as Salem. We're probably going to dive deeper in a couple weeks, but we're rushing because, well, I'm Polish. No, sorry, bad joke. But we're rushing to get this out because we have Halloween coming. But as far as Massachusetts is concerned, and sometimes we sneak New Hampshire in there, if you have questions, you're looking at a rent, you're looking at a move, you just want to talk about the state, definitely reach out to us, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. You can text us, email us, Facebook, all those fun things. Just remember, when it comes to Massachusetts, we've always got your back.